What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another LEGO YouTube video. Today I'm going to be counting down my picks for my 20 most wanted LEGO DC minifigures. There are of course several minifigures that did not make this list that are really cool, and I feel like there will definitely be future parts in the few coming weeks, so stay tuned for that. But so far these are my 20 most wanted minifigures for the LEGO DC line, so I'm really excited to go through these. And the very first minifigure that I have on my list is from the LEGO Batman movie lineup of sets. It is the LEGO Batman version of Poison Ivy. I feel like this is one of the most detailed versions of this minifigure. I love all of the printing on the minifigure, and you also get the fabric cloth skirt piece, which is very rare now, and I feel like it looks great on the minifigure and adds a lot. Also, you get dual molded arms and arm printing, and I feel like the hairpiece also looks really nice too. The only part of this minifigure I don't really like is the face print, but that's easily replaceable. I feel like every other part of this minifigure looks great, and I definitely want to add it to my collection soon, though she is a bit expensive because of all of those details, and I think she only came in one LEGO set. And then the next minifigure does not get any cheaper. It is the San Diego Comic-Con version of Supergirl, and this is the most expensive Supergirl minifigure. It is one of 3 iterations of Supergirl in LEGO, and I feel like this is the most detailed of those 3. The other 2 are very similar designs to each other, the only difference being a different hairpiece, and they have a much more simplified design. This one is a much more recent minifigure, and I feel like it looks a whole lot better because of it. Also, the exclusivity of it makes me want to have it a lot too, just so I can brag about it. But I love the printing on the minifigure, and I feel like the face prints also look great. I love the kind of laserized print that we see on the other side of the face, and it's just an all-around great minifigure, and one that I definitely want to add to the collection, but probably will never get, at least not for some time now. And the next minifigure on this list is one that I would like to get soon because of the nostalgia I have for this minifigure. Also because I don't have a whole ton of Alfreds in my LEGO collection. It is the Batman 1 version of Alfred. I have a lot of nostalgia for this minifigure, as this is the version of Alfred that is mostly featured in all of the LEGO Batman video games, and I feel like honestly still, like, coming out for a minifigure that came out in 2006, I feel like it still holds up today. The only thing that's kind of off is the face print, but I still really like it a lot, and he's more affordable than some of the other minifigures on this list, so I really do want to add it to my collection soon. And it's a very simple minifigure, but also a good minifigure. And the next minifigure in this collection is definitely not simple. It is probably the most detailed Batman minifigure in my opinion. It is the Arkham Asylum version of Batman. This is of course based off of the Arkhamverse Batman, and I feel like this is one of the coolest designs that we've ever gotten in LEGO, and honestly one that I never thought we would get. This came in the remote control Batmobile, and I feel like the printing on this minifigure really stands out amongst all the other Batman minifigures. And I also love the Arkham trilogy of games. They're some of my favorite video games I've ever played, and so I really want a minifigure to kind of commemorate that, and this is the only one that we have so far, so I would love to add it to the collection, though he is very expensive. I think if I remember correctly, he ranges from $80 to $100 now. I think I might be overshooting that a little bit, but still a very expensive minifigure, and also very detailed, so I can see why he is very expensive. And also the set did not sell very well while it was on store shelves, I think, so that also contributes to the kind of expensiveness of this minifigure. But the next figure on my list is not a minifigure, it's actually a big fig, and this is actually my favorite iteration of Bane. I feel like Bane has always been one of my favorite Batman villains, and they really did a great job on this big fig. I feel like we've really needed a big fig version of the character, and they definitely did not disappoint with this one. It came out from the LEGO Batman movie lineup of sets, and I love the kind of green pieces on him, and it's just a very impressive looking minifigure. It looks very menacing, and I really want to add it to my collection, though he is very expensive. I think he goes for around 50, maybe even more money for this minifigure, which is kind of absurd, but I really want it, so I might get it soon. And then another minifigure that is not cheap is the San Diego Comic-Con version of Green Arrow. I have 2 Green Arrows in my collection, the one from the LEGO Batman movie and also the one from the Justice League set too, so I don't really have a huge desire to get this minifigure, but I feel like of the 3 Green Arrow minifigures that we have gotten in LEGO, this is definitely my favorite. It's based off of the Arrowverse, and while I'm not the biggest fan of the Arrowverse, I feel like it's kind of overrated. I know I'm starting a war in the comments for saying that. I still think the minifigure looks great, and I would love to have it in my collection, and also it's a nice thing to say that you have a Comic-Con minifigure in your collection, so this is definitely one that I would like to add to my collection. And then the next minifigure is also from the Arrowverse. It is Arsenal, and I feel like this one I would like a lot more than the Green Arrow minifigure, just because this one is a more kind of exclusive minifigure. This is the only version of the character that we have gotten in LEGO, and I don't really see them making another version of him anytime soon, which is also why I would like to have him in the collection, and it's also just a very exclusive minifigure, but again, very expensive, so I most likely will not get it in my LEGO collection anytime soon, but it is definitely a DC minifigure that I would like to add to the collection, as it's very unique, and I feel like it would be a nice kind of like Young Justice kind of minifigure to add to my collection. And then next up is one of the last San Diego Comic-Con releases on this list. It is the Atom. This is one that I don't want as much as the other ones on this list, but it's still a cool minifigure. I like the kind of plaque you get included with the Palmer Technologies, and I think the printing on this minifigure is great. I'm just not the biggest fan of the face print, but I feel like that really weighs it down a lot, but I feel like everything else with this minifigure is great. They got it spot on, and I don't really see them making an Atom minifigure anytime soon, so I feel like this is the only one that we will have for the foreseeable future, and I'd really like to add it to my collection. I feel like a lot of the San Diego Comic-Con releases are some of the best superhero minifigures we've gotten, and I feel like this is no exception except for the face print. And then now moving on to some of the more affordable minifigures, we have the LEGO Batman movie version of Harley Quinn. I believe this minifigure came out in the Batwing set, and I feel like this is one of the more detailed versions of Harley Quinn from the LEGO Batman movie. I like the tutu, and I also like the dual molded arms with the also side arm printing on there too. I feel like the LEGO Batman movie minifigures that they added for those line of sets are always super detailed, and this of course is no exception. It also has side leg printing, and I think dual molded legs too. So very detailed minifigure. Would love to add it to the collection. The LEGO Batman movie minifigure I would like to add is Disco Robin. He came out in the Wayne Manor set, or I guess the Joker Manor set, and he is also very expensive, but I love this minifigure a lot. I think it's just a funny and obscure character to have in your LEGO collection, and I really like the kind of double-sided cape that we have with like the kind of like gold and the white, and I really love just how extravagant this minifigure looks. I think it's really funny. I would love to add it to my LEGO display. And then next up is another one of the disco entries. It is Disco Batman, and I feel like this is the one that I like the most. I love the face print that Batman has, and again, I like the gold and the white cape. This one is of course shaped like Batman's iconic cape that we see in the LEGO Batman sets, and I like the tuxedo design too, and I think it's just an all-around solid minifigure, and definitely a Batman I would like to add to the collection. But just like Disco Robin, he's very expensive. I think he goes for about $100, I think, though I could be wrong. That's really just going off of memory. But the next minifigure again is another disco entry. We only have two more on this list. It is Disco Batgirl, who also came out in the same set. I really want to get all of the disco minifigures just for the completionist in me. Honestly, at this point it might just be worth it to just buy the Joker Manor because it's a cool looking set, and you get these expensive minifigures inside of it. But Batgirl also has a lot of detail. She's probably the most detailed out of all of these, with the leg printing and the arm printing on here as well. So I really like this minifigure, and I think they did a great job with it. I think it's very unique amongst the other Batgirl minifigures that we have gotten, and I think it would look great in the kind of Joker Manor display. And then one of my favorites, and also one of the most affordable of the disco entries, is Disco Alfred. I feel like this one is really funny, and it also gets points for being affordable. I love the face print with the gold glasses, I like his tuxedo. He also has arm printing, and he does come with a guitar, which I thought was really cool, so I liked that. And he does have a tailcoat piece as well, which is with the cloth piece that we hardly ever see now, so I really like this minifigure a lot. He's probably the only one that I would get in the foreseeable future, and the only other one that I actually have out of the disco minifigures is the Disco Harley Quinn. She also came out in the CMF series, but the other one I would want to get is, of course, Disco Joker, who is exclusive to that Joker Manor set. I love the face print on him with the gold glasses, and I love the kind of J golden chain he has. He's got leg printing, and he also has a fabric tailcoat piece as well. I feel like this is just a really detailed minifigure too. I love that kind of neck piece he has on here too, and the face prints look good as well, and I think this will be a great addition to the LEGO collection. And I just love all the kind of obscure characters that we got from the LEGO Batman movie. I feel like the disco minifigures are probably some of my favorites, because like, why would we ever get these in LEGO? It's just funny that they exist, in my opinion. So I would love to add all of those to the collection. And then next up, not a disco minifigure, finally. I feel like these guys took up a big part of the list. It is Nightmare Batman from the Batman vs. Superman movie, and I think it's also made an appearance in Justice League, at least the Snyder Cut. And I like this minifigure a lot. It's very unique. I love all the printing on it. You can see there's some arm printing and some good back printing as well. He does have dual molded legs, and the accessories you get with this minifigure also look great, and I feel like this is again just a very unique Batman minifigure, so I'd like to add it to the collection. collection. And then another minifigure I want to add is one of Aquaman's villains. It is, of course, Ocean Master. I think they actually released this alongside the Aquaman movie, I think, and it's a really cool minifigure. I love the cape piece, the printing's good, and I really like his helmet piece as well too, and he does have some cool face prints as well too. He does have 2 expressions, so very unique minifigures. It's very rare that we get villains other than Batman, I feel like, recently, so I would love to have him in my collection for that reason, and I think it would just be a cool minifigure to kind of pair up alongside Black Manta. And then the next minifigure is Two-Face from the Lego Batman movie. I feel like most of the minifigures on this list are from the Lego Batman movie, but future videos, I promise, will not just be minifigures from that single lineup. But Two-Face is probably one of my most wanted minifigures from the Lego Batman movie minifigure line. It's so detailed. I love all of the printing on this minifigure. It's very expressive, and I really like it. It depicts the Billy D. Williams version of Two-Face, so that's also great too. And then another minifigure from the Lego Batman movie that I want to add to my collection is, of course, Polka Dot Man. I'm a huge fan of the James Gunn Suicide Squad movie, and so I really wanted to get Polka Dot Man because of that, and I feel like the minifigure definitely looks really great. It's got a bit of a goofy look to it, but I still like it. It has arm printing, and then he's also got 2 face prints as well, and he of course has some polka dots with him as well, and he does have a big polka dot piece that he kind of rides on too. So very detailed minifigure, but also very expensive because I think he was exclusive to one of the most expensive sets from the Lego Batman movie lineup of sets, but definitely a minifigure I want to add to my collection. And then the next minifigure is from the Justice League lineup of sets. It is the Cyborg minifigure from the DCEU. This one has the blaster arm, which is, I feel like, just such a unique piece, and I want it just because of that, I feel like. And the print detailing on this minifigure is also great too. At this moment of recording, I only have the Cyborg minifigure from the Justice League sets from 2015, and I also have the one from the CMF series, so I feel like this will be a great one to add to the collection, as it's definitely the most detailed out of all of them, so I really want to get him into the LEGO collection because I feel like it's just a very unique minifigure, but he is also very expensive. And the final minifigure on this list is the LEGO Batman movie version of the Riddler. This is a very affordable minifigure, I feel like, but the big highlight with this one is the Riddler cane element that we see. It looks like the Riddler trophies from the Arkham games, but I really like this minifigure. My only big complaint is really just the face print. I love the kind of arm printing that you can see on his suit over here, and I also really like the hat too, how it's kind of dual molded, how it has the hat and also some of his hair. So really cool minifigure. Just the face print isn't the best part of this minifigure, but he does have 2 face prints, and I think it's a solid minifigure, and I'd like to add it to the collection. I think this is one of few Riddlers that I still need to add to my collection. I need this one, and I think the one from either 2019 or 2020 that came out in the Shazam set. So this will be a great minifigure to add to the collection, but that is the last of the 20 that I'm going to include in this video. So it's really fun to kind of go through and look at your most wanted minifigures. So definitely let me know what you guys thought of this video down in the comments, and be sure to let me know what your most wanted LEGO DC minifigures are, as I feel like there's a ton of them from past years, not many from recent years, as the theme has kind of gone downhill and is kind of dead now, but it's fun to look back at what was and see the best DC minifigures of recent years. And yeah, that is all for today. So let me know what you thought of my list. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you are new around here. Be sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. But that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Bye.